I want you to keep in mind that they did everything that they possibly could to stop this man, and they couldn't.
You know, I think one of the things that's so important for politicians is for folks to believe what they're saying and that they're keeping their campaign promises. So I think this gives you a pretty gosh darn good idea of what may be going on. Trump's doing what he promised to do. You go back to April of 2017, it was just 46% of all Americans who said that Trump was doing what he promised to do. Compare that now to February of 2025. You know, there was a good show that was on during the 1990s called A Different World. That is what's going on right now. We're living in a different world. 70% of Americans say Trump is doing what he promised to do. Again, compare that to April of 2017 when it's just 46%. When Americans are 24 points more likely to say that you're doing what you promised to do, it's no wonder that your net approval rating is much more likely to be on the positive side of the ledger than on the negative side. And so far, what we're seeing, again, is Americans, 21 days so far, versus just 11 days during his entire first term, that Trump has a positive net approval rating. Quite a different world.
They tried to do everything in their power to demean, diminish, and to disavow Donald Trump. They did everything they could. They took this man to court. They made him take the infamous screenshot. I should say famous. Yeah, I wouldn't even say infamous. The worldwide screenshot. Tried to assassinate this man, tried to sabotage him to every degree, every single day, 24 hours a day. Oh my gosh. Did y'all see this? Maxine Waters is at it again and is currently having an unhinged meltdown over Elon Musk. Again?
Wow, wow, wow. Look at this crowd. Elon Musk, where are you? Bring your ass over here so you can see who's here and what we're doing. We're not afraid of you. We know that you are the co-president now of the United States of America. But ladies and gentlemen, I want you to follow very closely what he's doing and how he has done it. First of all, we're here at the Consumer Financial Protection Bureau. What is it? This is so important. Prior to this being organized in the Dodd-Frank reforms, consumers didn't have any place to really file complaints. They didn't have anywhere to go when the biggest banks in America was ripping them off. The student loans were being undermined. They didn't have any place.
Can somebody tell me what is she talking about right now as it relates to USAID? Is this a tactic?
To go. Why does Elon Musk want to get rid of all of this? Because he's a thief.
Oh, okay.
He's a gangster. He brings his billionaire friends along with him because they think that they can take over this country. And Trump has said, you give me enough money, you can have it.
So basically, she's cherry picking what Elon Musk is doing and framing it in such a way that removes accountability on the Democrat side of things. Oh, he's trying to remove this and remove that. More fear-mongering tactic when really he's finding the corruption. This is simply an audit. You people. They're in full-blown panic mode, Cutter said. Lives of TikTok replied, I'm loving every second of it. What a lunatic and low-class woman, Paul says. I'm not sure who's worse, Maxine Waters or Jasmine Crockett. Ooh, y'all let me know in the comments who y'all think might be worse, huh? Let me know right now. Well, I'm having a little reaction right now. My lip over here feeling like it's about to swell up. Anyhow, this woman is a registered independent voter. She gives her opinion of what she's seeing between Elon Musk, DOGE, and Democrats from an independent voter's perspective. This video was only 35 seconds, and it skyrocketed to over 150K likes. They say it's pure gold. Let's figure out why.
Democrats are acting like cheating boyfriends right now. I'm sorry, but somebody's got to say it. I'm independent. I think there's good ideas on both sides. There's bad ideas on both sides. But what this DOGE audit is reminding me of is like a girl taking her boyfriend's phone and like hiding in the bathroom. And the Democrats are just banging on the door. And they're like, you are invading my privacy. You can't go through my phone. And Elon Musk is like, yes, I can. I can see what you've been up to. And then every time Musk comes out of the bathroom, he's like, look, see what you did? They just turn it around and they're like, you invaded my privacy. This was your fault. You broke my trust. Democrats are acting like cheating boys.
That's exactly what it feels like right now. I mean, honestly, though, minus the whole scenario of him not having the authority, almost like he's stealing it to go view it and then call you out. No, he has the authority to do so. But I can understand why that's pure gold, because quite literally the Democrats are acting real wild over this. But of course, y'all see, oh, did I just mess up the... We got Caroline Levitt right here. And she posted the official update on how well President Trump is doing.
Welcome to the MAGA Minute. It's been a huge week here at the White House, and let's go over the wins President Trump delivered on behalf of you, the American people. On immigration, illegal migrant encounters between the ports of entry are down nearly 87%. On the economy, President Trump laid out a plan to establish a sovereign wealth fund to better invest the more than $5 trillion in assets held by the United States. He also proposed tariffs on imports from Canada and Mexico and China, and those tariffs were swiftly paused after our allies agreed to step up and address these issues. We are streamlining USAID into the State Department. President Trump signed a historic executive order to ban men in women's sport. Lastly, President Trump is already making our military strong again. Army recruitment in the month of December, with the anticipation of President Trump's return to the Oval Office, hit a 15-year high. We'll see you for next week's MAGA Minute.
Wow, 15-year high. Talk about bringing Americans together. I feel like more than ever, this is the first time in real time that we get to see a president actually do what he says he's going to do, or he said he was going to do. Whether it fails or succeeds, he at least attempts to. And I think that's the one thing that we as Trump supporters really connect with. Am I wrong? He's just like the guy who's always... I don't know. He's the guy who's always seen everything going on and everybody called him crazy. But every day he's been proven right. Time magazine, or at least Elon Musk posted this. I don't know if this is, oh yeah, this says February 10th, 2025. They posted this picture of Melania Trump in the middle with the famous, you know what I mean? What they say, Mad TV hat. What's that guy? The Mad cartoon. Oh, man, but you see everybody in attendance. JD Vance, I see RFK, I see Elon Musk right there in the middle looking dead at the camera. Don Jr., I see Pam Bondi back there. I see Joe Biden. Oh, man, that's an incredible photo right there. Let's see a few comments. Well, they ain't really got too many comments. What they say, the Godfather, look at the coolest guy in history. This is the guy that got everybody upset. Allegedly, the real president right now. I doubt that. Trump is Trump, man. I don't know. These people really insulting Trump's authority by saying that Elon Musk is the president. You know what I'm saying? Like Trump ain't getting him the authority to do what they don't. I'm just saying. Stephen Miller, one of my favorites, is saying you're missing the entire story. Let's figure out what he means.
A radical left judge said that the Secretary of the Treasury cannot access the Treasury computer system. This isn't just unconstitutional. That ruling is an assault on the very idea of democracy itself. What we continue to see here is the idea that rogue bureaucrats who are elected by no one, who answer to no one, who have lifetime tenure jobs, who we would be told can never be fired, which of course is not true, that the power has been cemented and accumulated for years, whether it be with the Treasury bureaucrats or the FBI bureaucrats or the CIA bureaucrats or the USAID bureaucrats, with this unelected shadow force that is running our government and running our country. Donald Trump is engaging in the most important restoration of democracy in over a century by saying that we are going to restore power to the people through their elected president and his appointed officers. That is the only way we can have true democracy in this country. You elect a president, he appoints a staff, the staff transparently carries out his orders on behalf of the whole nation. But this nonsense, where we have rogue, unelected, unaccountable, and previously unfireable bureaucrats who do whatever the hell they want, with no one telling them and no one controlling them, we're not going to let that happen anymore. We're going to have a democracy, and we're going to have an executive branch that serves the American people, that answers to the American people, and that answers the will of the American voter.
I can't honestly say that I personally feel like the power is being given back to us, despite the rhetoric that's trying to be cemented around the progress, which is, the progress of Donald Trump, which is there is no progress. It's almost weird to see how these libs and Democrats, man, how they try to complain about the good. Like, you're complaining that he's deporting illegals, but you're complaining that he's showing you that our tax dollars are can't be accounted for. We don't even know how they're being spent. Are we seeing all these other people's salaries? Yeah, man, Stephen definitely hit it right on the nail here. Now, speaking of Pam Bondi, who was also in that time photo of the swearing in of President Donald Trump, 45, 47. She said, there's a reason that the people at Treasury don't want the Secretary at Treasury nor DOGE to have those records. We just building on to what Stephen Miller was just speaking about.
You know, one of the favorite things about having a chance to have a conversation with a lawyer who gets it, if you will, is talking to someone who understands the separation of powers. And I mention that because we have a situation in this country right now, Attorney General, where a judge has decided unilaterally to prevent the Treasury Department from even accessing some of the records. And we're talking about even the Treasury Secretary. I guess two-part question. Have you ever heard of such a thing? And what, if anything, can be done to address that?
No, I have never heard of such a thing in my life. But, you know, it's not unexpected given the two-tier system of justice that we're facing in this country. And, you know, what Elon Musk has been doing at DOGE is remarkable. He is such a great man. He is a good friend. And he is doing this for the right reasons. There's a reason the people at Treasury don't want the Secretary of Treasury nor DOGE to have those records. There was a reason at USAID they did not want anyone to have those records. You know, we found out at USAID they're giving $1.5 million to Serbia for transgender. They're giving over $1 million, I think, to Guatemala for sex changes. This is not going to happen with American tax dollars any longer. And we're going to find out who you are, and it's going to stop.
Amen to that. Y'all see, we got Jasmine Crockett on the screen right there doing the protest. Hold on, what is this? Oh, how did that get there? A stick. But yeah, we got Jasmine Crockett there. Yeah, we don't want our tax dollars going to all this frivolous stuff. You got our money going to some camp in a whole nother country supporting LGBTQ and trans slaughter of babies and stuff. I ain't behind that. I mean, it's hurricanes and things of that nature, natural disasters, homelessness. You know what I'm saying? We got things going on in the education system, and we giving way too much to the education system, low-key. These people don't get it, man. I don't get it. The mindset. Maybe when you were a kid, I can understand the whole socialist sort of everybody should be fair, equal, yada, yada type mindset. But as you grow older and you start to live some life, I expect your common sense to kind of level up. Now, Bill Gates is wrapped into this. It says his vaccine organization, GAVI, was awarded that $4 trillion? Oh, 4 billion. I'm sorry. Whew. Nearly $5 billion in taxpayer money to a single organization. 2 grants are still active. The $4 billion grant ends in August of 2030. No wonder Gates is speaking out against DOGE dismantling USAID. I mean, but we always knew something was a little fishy with him in regards to this. GAVI's impact draws on the strengths of core partners, partnerships. It's a donor community, government, research agencies, private sector partners, vaccine manufacturers, civil society organizations, implementing country governments. Chair, Gates Foundation. Yeah, man, this is him right here. These are the receipts. Gates is nervous. Not only Gates, Samantha Power, who I just learned about, was a rogue intel chief making 250 plus unmasking requests as UN ambassador and overseeing a global multi-billion-dollar recruitment and operations empire at USAID with nearly triple the CIA's budget.
Well, you can imagine when you suddenly in your inbox find a termination notice or a leave of absence notice.
Hey, if you was here when I got demonetized, one thing I can say is I felt that. I don't agree with you on why you, but anywho.
Leave of absence notice that you didn't expect to get on a flawed predicate that you're doing radical leftist insubordination. It's pretty jarring. And because there's so many lies and falsehoods circulating, and so many claims that people are sort of not with the program, I think people are just completely dislocated. There's no stable ground on which to walk. And then, of course, most of them have been laid off, so they're worried about how they're going to pay the bills and how they're going to make rent. But maybe the part that is the most striking and, for me, inspiring, if not surprising, having worked there for 4 years, is that, you know, the people who work at USAID did not come to work at USAID for the money. The civil servants, the foreign servants, the contractors, they came to USAID because they wanted to make a difference in the world, because they saw America's interests as tied up with the interests of people, vulnerable people.
Now, we don't doubt that there was some level of good intent or somebody was decent merit behind the ideas, but we can't deny that it's evolved into something that's utterly despicable.
Around the world. And so even as they're struggling to figure out how to make rent, all of a sudden, they're most struggling with the fear that so many millions of people who relied on us as a country, on USAID as an agency, but on them as individuals, that those individuals out in the world have no place to turn. And indeed, they're showing up and finding health clinics shuttered and soup kitchens closed and advisors who were helping governments renegotiate debt with China, those advisors, now taken off the books. So just the wreckage in the world is what the USAID staff that I'm in touch with are carrying with them. That's what's keeping them up at night, as much as the question of what am I going to do tomorrow and, how do I take care of my family?
Let's look at what Elon Musk said. How did she accumulate wealth that is 100 times her after-tax salary? When I tell you, this guy just straight up obliterated all of her little sentiments here. Frederick Lundberg posted something that Elon Musk responded to, which reads, great quote, from, how you say that? Cicero. A nation can survive its fools and even its ambitions, but it cannot survive treason from within. An enemy at the gates is less formidable, for he is known and he carries his banners openly. But the traitor moves among those within the gate freely. His sly whispers, rustling through all of the galleries, heard in the very hall of the government itself. For the traitor appears not traitor. He speaks in the accents familiar to his victims and wears their face in their garments. And he appeals to the baseness that lies deep in the hearts of all men. He rots the soul of a nation. He works secretly and unknown in the night to undermine the pillars of the city. He infects the body politic. Yeah, I said it right. He infects the body politic so that it can no longer resist. A murderer is less to be feared. Basically saying when you can't see him coming, it's more dangerous. At least when you can predict, you can prepare. I can understand. Now, let's get some more about Samantha Power. That's her name. And why she's so afraid. Right now, we have about a minute of exposing her.
Guys, let me introduce you to Samantha Power. Samantha Power here is a top administrator that is now fired from her position. Okay, Samantha Powell is a far leaning left individual. Okay, we did a little digging. Samantha Power was sworn in as an administrator at USAID on May 8th, 2021. Samantha Power's financial disclosure filed in January 21 shows her assets estimated at $6.7 million to $16.5 million today. In 2024, her net worth is estimated up to $30 million. How does a government job multiply wealth like that?
Yeah, I don't get it.
Her salary at USAID was only $180,000 annually. And
it's
she's
nearly 200K.
on national TV complaining about the good work she has done. What work is that? Laundering our money?
I don't get how these salaries are going up and nobody's explaining it. But I feel exactly how this elderly woman, this elderly American citizen, and she has just seen the news about what Elon Musk and DOGE have exposed what you said, and this is how we all feel.
I want back every goddamn tax dollar I ever paid. Ever.
Me too. Let the comments say amen. Let the comments say amen. By the way, I want to say thank y'all, man. Y'all been pouring in with the Patreon. Y'all been pouring in with the Twitter. Y'all been pouring in on the Instagram. If somebody can help me manage these other platforms, I would be like, we can talk, shoot me a DM. I just need somebody to help me run all. I ain't got a team and none of that, but I definitely want to make sure that we getting these videos and content out to as many people. Anyhow, this black woman is not concerned about Trump, but she is concerned with the info coming out about USAID, and how money is being spent. This is the energy that my people, we need to start carrying 2025.
Y'all, please tell me. I don't care how y'all feel about Trump. At this goddamn point, y'all should be bothered by the freaking information coming out right now, but what they were spending our tax dollars on. Our checks that we be working for, our labor, literally be hundreds of dollars short. Hundreds of dollars short. So they could spend it on somebody fluffing pillows. So they could spend it on somebody sitting up and recording Velcro noise for what goddamn stuff? I could give two craps how y'all feel about Trump right now if y'all are not concerned.
She said Velcro. No. Seriously, though. Is as privileged as that? Oh, man, I got hot out of nowhere. I was cold. She laughed me into a sweat. Whoa, hold on. But seriously, though, finding out what's really happening behind the scenes is all that we truly need to be concerned about. But unfortunately, we're trying to shoot the messenger. Seriously. It's like somebody said, somebody robbed your house, the investigators found out who did it, and they come and tell you who did it. And you mad at the investigators for finding out who did it and not the people who did it. More about Samantha. Oh, I'm sorry. Completely. We're doing too much, y'all. This is what doing too much looks like. USAID is too busy playing global good Samaritan to advance American interests. Nancy Mace snouts.
USAID awarded $2 million to strengthen trans-led organizations to deliver gender-affirming health care in Guatemala. So to each of you this morning, does this advance the interests of American citizens paying for trannies in Guatemala to the tune of $2 million? Yes or no? Governor?
I have no position.
Of course you don't. Okay, USAID awarded over $750,000 to fund alleviating loneliness among migrant garment workers in India. Does this advance America's interests, Governor?
No.
No. I have no position.
USAID awarded $1.5 million for providing a gender-sensitive response to migration at the Venezuelan border. Does this advance America's interests, Governor?
No.
No. I have no position.
Does this advance the interest? Okay, so USAID awarded $4.3 million on October 1st, 2023 to a group to fund comprehensive health services for men having sex with other men in South Africa. Does this advance the interests of American citizens?
Oh my gosh.
No.
No. I have no position.
I bet you don't. Okay. USAID awarded one.
He has no position.
$0.5 million to advance diversity, equity, and inclusion in Serbia's workplaces and business communities by promoting economic empowerment and opportunity for LGBTQI plus people in Serbia. Does this advance America's interests?
Nope.
No.
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 Nope.
You have no idea, right? Okay.
No. But this is where our money is going. And now they threatening to sue. Oh, I'm sorry. They threatened something over Elon Musk doing what he's doing. It says Democrat Rep. Daniel Goldman threatens Elon Musk with being taken to court over USAID audit. He was caught with over $30 million in nonprofit funds stashed in offshore Cayman Islands account. Of course, this guy wants him gone. Then we got, who's this? Jamie Raskin announces a class action suit on behalf of all America. Hey, no, not on behalf of me.
What I'm thinking about and talking to, my friends at Democracy Defenders and other lawyers about is, could there be a nationwide class action lawsuit to follow up on last week's victories against Musk, against the Trump administration for this breach in computer security and the data of all American taxpayers? It could be a class action suit on behalf of all Americans. If the Proud Boys and the Oath Keepers want to opt out and they don't want their part of the money for the contamination of their data, fine, they can opt out. But really, it's a suit on behalf of everybody, because that's our information. Right. It doesn't belong to Elon Musk or his little midnight crew. It belongs to the people, and the government has to hold it in trust. Now, there's specific statutes which say that information can only be accessed for tax purposes, for the purposes of the internal revenue system, and for no other purposes. What are they using that information for?
They keep trying to frame this as he's accessing that data to somehow do something with that information. I'm not saying that I put my trust in anybody 100%, even Elon Musk or even Donald Trump, for that sake. However, look, he's doing his job. It's a part of, like Derek Evans said, he's not suing on my behalf. In fact, I want to countersue for Democrats preventing DOGE from doing their job. I hear that. I'm sorry, we actually heard from Stephen Miller. I don't even know why I posted that one. We actually watched that in another one. Just want to be able to make sure y'all updated on everything and not repeating and rinsing content. But Matt Kim posed a theory. Basically, we're looking in this direction, but it's something else going on over here. The spotlight right now is on USA, but could there be something bigger at play?
What if I told you the U.S. government can legally lie about its finances? In the news nonstop has been the USAID program that spends $30 to $50 billion a year on various fraudulent foreign aid programs and domestic propaganda campaigns. And people are upset, totally understandably. But what if I told you there's an even bigger financial black hole that makes USAID look like pocket change? Ever hear of SFFAS 56?
No.
The Statement of Federal Financial Accounting Standard 56. It allows the U.S. government to legally modify or omit financial records to protect classified activities. Cook the books. SFFAS 56 became law through a quiet backdoor bureaucratic process without the need for congressional approval or public debate. The Federal Accounting Standard Advisory Board proposed it, and only 3 officials needed to sign off on it. Gene Dodaro, Comptroller General of the U.S., Steve Mnuchin, Secretary of the Treasury, and Mark Mulvaney, Director of the Office of Management and Budget. No congressional vote, no hearings, no major media coverage, just became law. SFFAS 56 became the official accounting standard, allowing the government to hide spending at will in the name of national security. The official explanation is that a new accounting method had to be created to protect classified operations, such as intelligence activities, covert military missions, and secret technology programs. But the real impact is that it effectively legalized secret spending, making it impossible to conduct a full audit of the U.S. government. Since the Department of Defense started doing independent audits in 2018, it has yet to pass one, unable to account for trillions of dollars. In the fiscal year 2024 audit, the Pentagon could only account for approximately 50% of its $3.8 trillion in assets, leaving about $1.9 trillion unaccounted for. The U.S. government demands financial transparency from its citizens, but when it comes to their own books, they write the rules to hide the truth. Black projects, covert ops, money laundering, who knows? This level of financial secrecy makes full audits impossible. So how much taxpayer money is actually unaccounted for? Since the national conversation is now about financial transparency and cutting government waste, we also need full transparency in government auditing. Pressure Congress to repeal SFFAS 56 and enforce financial accountability. Because if we don't know where trillions of dollars are going, we should be asking, who really controls the money?
What? SS what 56? SFFAS. So basically the whole Obama thing where he was able to push forward and legalize media propaganda. But this is 10 times worse. This is not okay. They playing with people's money. You playing with people's money. Our money. I don't know what to say after that.